Okay, let's begin. Take Adho Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Hands forward, feet back. Take a moment to walk the dog, bend one knee and straighten the other. Really press that heel down towards the floor. And then switch. Feel the back of the ankle, Achilles tendon, calf opening up. Switch. Switch again. Keep walking the dog if you're still feeling a little stiff, and holding both legs straight doesn't feel quite good yet. Maybe it's first thing in the morning for you. Take both legs straight. Eventually see, can you get those heels to come down? Press back at your outer thighs, inner groins, front of the thighs. Press forward with your arms. Find that nice length in the sides of the torso. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. And then step your feet forward, hands back. Take your feet as wide as the mat and come into Uttanasana, a standing forward bend. If you can't comfortably touch the floor with your hands, bring your hands back onto your shin bones, your ankles, your feet, whatever feels most comfortable. This is your forward bend, so take this to the depth that feels right for you in this moment. You can stay in more of a concave back. You can walk the hands back and hold the heels. Pull your chest towards your thighs to your comfort level. Couple of nice deep breaths. And then soften your knees, take your hands onto your hips. Inhale and stand up. Let's just kind of shake off the cobwebs a little bit with a little flow. You can have a block off on the right-hand side of your mat if you would like. Stand in the center of your mat and then jump or step your feet wide. Nice and wide because we're going to flow from triangle pose to side angle. All right, so make sure your left toes are pointed straight ahead or a little bit in. Turn that right leg out. Keep the belly turning back towards the left side, and with an exhalation, come over into your triangle pose. You can use your block at any height that you would like. All right, think of taking this front of the thigh, this hip crease, move it back to the left as you take the right armpit forward. Find that length in the right side of your torso. Turn that left pelvis back, left side of the rib cage back. Right, and then bend that right knee, come down to the first stage of Parsvakonasana. Then turn your palm towards the right and reach that arm over. Press into the left heel, reach through that left arm and roll that torso forward. Bring the arm back up, straighten the knee, come back through your triangle pose. Really press into that left leg and pull up through the left arm. Turn the feet. Jump or step the feet back together. Let's keep the feet about hip width apart, maybe slightly wider, and with an exhalation, come over to Uttanasana. If you need it, you can grab your block, use your block. Just be in Uttanasana. Soften the knees, hands on the hips to come up. Take the block to the left-hand side of your mat. We'll do the same thing on the left. So jump or step your feet nice and wide. Right toes are forward or slightly in. Left leg is turned out. Make that inner edge of the foot parallel to the long edge of the mat. extend your arms. Now keeping the belly turning back towards your right, exhale and come down. Left hand can come to whatever height is comfortable. All right, try to deepen that hip crease. So just move that hip crease to the right. Let that left armpit move to the left, and then roll that torso open. Take the arm up. Breathe. All right, and then you're going to bend that left knee. Take that thigh as parallel to the floor as you can. Turn the palm to face the left, and then extend the arm over the ear. Press into the right heel and reach, right? So see how much length you can get in that right side. Roll that torso forward. All right, and then arms straight up. Come back to your triangle pose. And then press firmly into that right leg. Pull with that right arm to come up. Turn your feet. Step your feet together. Uttanasana. Come forward again. Use the block if you need to. A couple of nice deep breaths. Bend the knees, hands on your hips. Inhale and come up. All right, we're going to change these poses up just a little bit. All right, so you're still going to use your block off on the right-hand side of your mat. You're going to separate your feet wide like we did before, but we're going to take the back of the left heel to the back edge of the mat, and we're going to take the inner edge of the right foot to the front edge of the mat. So I have the lengthwise distance, right? But then I also have a widthwise distance, right? You'll have your block. It may not be right up against your foot because the shin bone's at an angle, but have it close to your foot. We'll keep the left hand on the hip, all right? Turn that belly to the left as you extend with your right arm and come over into your triangle pose. So this is going to hit a little bit different in that front leg. We're aiming to stretch this inner part of the groin a little bit more, right? So roll that left hip back, left side of the torso back, and really press into the inner edge of that right foot. Draw the kneecap up towards the hip crease, and then see, can you take that hip towards that left leg? Armpit towards the right. Okay, now bend the knee, and as you bend the knee, we're just going to do a bend and straight. Bend and straight. As you bend that knee, I want you to think of lengthening from the inner groin to the inner knee. Keep that knee grazing your arm. All right, so the knee is still moving back. Find that inner groin stretch. Bend and straighten. All right, and then bend the knee, hold that knee bent, take the arm up, turn the palm and extend out. Reach and turn your abdomen. All right, and then arms straight up, straighten the knee, triangle pose once again. Press firmly into that left heel and come up. All right, and then we'll bring the feet together again, Uttanasana. Feet don't have to be together. Sorry, I say together because it's my habit. We're just bringing the feet to a comfortable distance and taking that forward bend. A couple of nice deep breaths. Soften the knees, hands on the hips, inhale and come up, and we'll do this on the other side now. All right, so right foot, heel is at the back edge of the mat, toes straight ahead. All All right, and then you're taking that left foot, inner edge of the left foot, all the way to the front edge of the mat. Your block is close to your foot, but again, the shin bone might be a little bit in the way. Hand on your hip, turn the belly back to the right, reach through that left arm, and come over into a triangle pose. Deepening that hip crease, lengthening that left side of the torso, and turning belly, rib cage, chest towards the front. And then we'll bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Now really think of this inner groin. As you bend, that inner groin is reaching towards the knee is pressing back into the arm. Come back, bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. This time we'll hold, bend, hold that knee bent. Take the arm up, turn the palm, and then lengthen. Turn that pelvis up, abdomen, chest. Reach through that right side. Arm up, straighten the knee to triangle pose. Press firmly into that right heel as you come up. Turn the feet. All right, and then it's awkward to step the feet back. Feet can be a bit apart. Come over into Uttanasana. Couple of nice deep breaths. Comfortable forward bend for you. Soften the knees, hands on the hips, inhale and stand up. Now let's take the long edge of the mat to a wall if you can. Actually, you don't even need to move the mat, really. I will, so you can see my feet and my block. But you really just need to go to a wall space. And you're going to have your foot off the wall a little bit. All right, we're going to take Ardha Chandrasana, and rather than having the inner edge of the foot be parallel to the edge of the mat, we're going to turn that foot out. All right, so your toes will be pointing back towards the wall. All right, they'll be close to the wall, but not touching the wall. All right, we need a little bit of space between the foot and the wall. All right, so I'm just going to take this foot out. All right, you don't have to take this one back. We're not going to do this from the classical entry mode. And then I'm just going to turn that foot. Try to go to a 45-degree angle, but if that's too much, do what you can. All right, and then the block, remember, is a good 12 to 18 inches in front of your toe. Right, and you can let that right hip touch the wall. Go ahead and lean onto the wall, and then you're going to stand up into Ardha Chandrasana. All right, so you can keep that right hip on the wall. You want to look back and see. The knee should be pointing towards the toes. So that top of the thigh is turning out. All right, and then try to roll the right hip back towards the wall. Sorry, left hip back towards the wall. The left side of the ribs, the left shoulder blade. Your right hip can stay on the wall for this. I don't want you to be concerned at all with balance. Just letting that inner groin stretch. Press into that heel and really lift up the front of the leg. All right, and then bend that left knee, look down towards the floor, and set the right foot down. Then you can have your buttocks on the wall and come forward into Uttanasana. Use the block under your hands if you would like. then bend your knees, hands on your hips. Come up. All right, let's do that to the left now. Okay, so you're going to take the left foot, turn the toes back towards the wall. That block will be a good, it's basically hip to armpit distance. All right, so whatever that is for you, it's usually 12 to 18 inches. Left hip can be on the wall. Lean on the wall for support here. And then as you come up, keep that left hip on the wall. Bring your right heel back towards the wall. And then see, can you roll that right side of the pelvis back towards the wall? Right side of the abdomen, the rib cage, the shoulder. Arm can come up or arm can rest down. It's up to you. Press into that left heel. You can even press the right heel into the wall. To me, that adds a little bit of more stretch here. Look with your eyes and make sure that knee is turning, pointed towards the toes. So the top of the thigh is turning out. And then bend the knee, come down. You can keep the buttocks on the wall. Lean forward in Uttanasana. Come up. We're going to repeat that one more time. So move your block back to the right hand side. Turn that right foot out. See if you can turn maybe a little bit more. All right. Come over. Let that right hip touch the wall. And with an inhalation, come up. Press that left heel into the wall as you straighten the right leg completely. All right. And then roll that left hip back. Left side of the waist back, left shoulder back. Take your head back to touch the wall. Look with your eyes. Make sure that knee is pointing in the direction of your third and fourth toe. Feel that at the top of the hip. You're going to feel something in here. A little more on the inner part of the leg maybe than the back. A couple of nice deep breaths. And then bend the knee, come down. Once again, Uttanasana with your buttocks on the wall. And then bend your knees, hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. All right, last time, left side. All right, so the block is down. Foot's about 1.5 feet from that block. Turn those toes out. See, can you turn them out any amount more? Any amount more. Lean against the wall. All right, and then come over into your Ardha, Chandrasana. Take that right heel to the wall. I've got the window there. Right heel to the wall. Press that heel into the wall so you can really turn the top of the thigh. It's not the knee that's turning. It's the top of the thigh that's turning. And then roll that hip back, waist back, rib cage back, shoulder back. Couple of deep breaths. Press that right heel and turn the top of that left thigh. And then bend the knees, slide down the wall, come up. One last Uttanasana. Buttocks are on the wall. Exhale, come forward. Touch your feet, touch the mat, grab a block. and then soften the knees a bit, hands on your hips, inhale, come up. All right, you're going to grab yourself a strap, a bolster or a stack of blankets. You can move the mat away from the wall now. In fact, you want it away from the wall. All right, and we're going to just start with, you can make a loop in your strap if you'd like. And we're going to lay down. You'll have your bolster up on the right hand side of your mat. And we're just going to take a Supta Padangusthasana. Start with Supta Padangusthasana 1, just one more time, give those hamstrings a little love. All right, so you'll lay down at the top of your mat, straighten both legs. Make sure you're in line with that space between the toes, or between the feet. And then bring that right knee up towards your chest and just give it a hug. Pull the shin bone towards your head as you lengthen your buttocks away from your lower back. So there's a nice lengthening on that right side. Right, and then take the strap around the foot. You can go ball with the foot or heel. I'm not too concerned about that. And then straighten your leg up for Supta Padangusthasana 1. You decide how much stretch this is for you today. Knee is straight, all right? So adjust the loop in the strap if you can't quite get the knee straight. Just take a couple of breaths here. Right, and then I want you to bend the knee. You may have to hold the strap in the right hand. You're going to position this bolster so you can rest your thigh onto the bolster. All right, so I'm just here and I'm just going to take my thigh out. Right, and then we're going to just work on straightening that leg. So bend and straighten. You can kind of press down with your arm onto your leg to hold that knee in place. This is very similar to the Parsvakonasana at the beginning. Just bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Keep that foot in a dorsiflexion. Don't point the toes. Keep them in dorsiflexion. So you're reaching through the heel, and then let's hold that leg straight. Turn your toes. Normally we keep the outer edge of the foot parallel, but like you did in your Ardha Chandrasana, see, can you turn the toes down towards the floor? And then with your hand, you can kind of pull. The thigh will be up on the bolster, but with your hand, kind of pull down towards the floor a little bit. Keep that left side of the pelvis rolling to the left, belly to the left. You can take that left arm out to the side if you would like. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. All right, and then bend that right knee. Bring the foot back up. You're going to bend your left knee. Okay, you don't have to hold the strap for this. Take the left ankle or right ankle onto the left knee, and then just pulse. Pulse that knee several times. All right, and then we're going to reach up. Couple of different ways that you can do this. We want to keep this knee moving away from us, so most of the pull needs to be with your left hand on your left foot. All right, but we're going to hold the leg. All right, so depending on your range of motion, you might hold the knee and the foot. All right, that may be all that you can get. All right, so you're going to tighten up that foot. Don't let it sickle like I just casually did there. Tighten up that foot, hold the heel, and then with the hand press the knee. All right, so that's kind of the first stage. Right? Then to use the abdominal muscles, contracting those abdominal muscles, see, can you take your right arm into the crook of the knee, and can you take your left arm around the heel? All right? And you can still kind of push with that right arm, right? Because part of it's on the thigh. So push with that right arm as you pull with your left. Contract your abdominal muscles and lift your head to look up over your shin. Pull with that left arm. You want that left foot coming towards you. Try to make your shin bone parallel to the wall across the room, and then straighten that left leg. Right? Then you can bend the left leg, release the right leg. Let's just straighten both legs and rest in a short Shavasana. Just take a couple of nice deep breaths, let the muscles release. Feel the difference in the two sides. You're going to feel some difference between the right leg, the right pelvis versus the left. Right, and then do what's best in your space. Either turn yourself around or move your bolster. I'm going to turn around because I've got the wall. All right, so we'll do the same thing on the left side. All right, so starting with the right leg straight, bend that left knee in towards your chest and pull the shin bone towards your head. And then take the strap around the foot, hold it in your left hand, and we'll come up to Supta, Padangusthasana. 1. Just the legs straight up in the air. Couple of nice deep breaths. Right, and then bend the knee, bring it out to the side onto that bolster. So you may have to move over and make sure your bolster's a little bit on the mat. That thigh is resting on the I can't get my bolster to stay. The thigh is resting on the bolster. You kind of can have your arm on the inner leg. Dorsiflex that foot. So it's like it's standing on the floor in Parsvakonasana, and we're just bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Let the toes point down towards the floor. All right, a couple more. On this next one, you're going to hold it. Right, the bolster is there, so you can kind of pull down on the foot a little bit. Feel that inner groin to inner knee stretch. Turn the toes down towards the floor like we did in Ardha Chandrasana. We turn the toes back. This is the same thing. This is your standing leg in Ardha Chandrasana. Turn the pelvis to the right, abdomen to the right, rib cage. You can even turn the head. You can extend the right arm. A couple of nice deep breaths. All right, and then bend that left knee. Bend the right knee. Take the left ankle onto the knee and pulse a few times. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Right, and then you decide here how much abdominal strength you need today. All right, we are going to do the final version of the pose. With your left hand, you're holding the knee. With the right hand, you're grabbing the foot. So this foot stays in a nice, sharp dorsiflexion. You don't let the foot pull back towards you. You're trying to push that right heel into the right hand. All right, so that's your stage 1. All right, stage 2, you're taking that left arm, lifting up, contract your abdominal muscles, and hook the knee into the elbow, and then hook the ankle into the elbow. You can still kind of push with that left arm, but mostly you're pulling with the right arm, bringing that foot toward you, turning that thigh. Use your abdominal muscles. Don't use your neck. Use your abdominal muscles to lift yourself up. Look up over that shin and straighten that right leg. Breathe. All right, and then you can release. Both feet back onto the floor. And straighten the legs. Now, I want you to just challenge yourself a little bit and make that strap a little bit smaller or hold your toe, right? If you're already pretty small on the strap, let's see if we can hold the toe through some of this. All right, so your right side will be at the bolster again. Left leg is straight. Bring that right knee in towards your chest. All right, use a little bit smaller strap, or grab your toe. Straighten your leg. Supta Padangusthasana 1. You can stay with that strong dorsiflexed ankle today. You don't have to press the toes up towards the ceiling. A couple of nice deep breaths. Now bend the knee. Rest that thigh onto the bolster. And then bend and straighten. The toes point more down towards the floor. And they're not going to be completely down towards the floor. It's maybe that 45-degree angle. All right, and then come straight. Let the thigh rest onto the bolster. As you pull down with your hand, you're turning the pelvis to the left. Abdomen, rib cage, chest. You can even turn the head, and you can straighten that left arm. Okay, now bend that knee again. All right, now you're going to take that foot across. All right, try to continue holding the toe or the strap. If you need to let go, you can let go, but try to continue. All right, either hold the ankle with that left hand or contract the abdominal muscles, lift up and hold the ankle and the elbow. All right, you have to turn that right side of the torso. It has to lift up and turn. Take the right arm behind your head and be in the bent knee. Supta Padangusthasana. Even though the abdominal muscles are contracting, find your breath. Right, and then when you release that, you're going to go out to that straight leg to the side. Supta Padangusthasana 2. Then bend the knee, release the foot, and straighten the leg. Just rest there for a moment. And then same thing, either turn yourself around so the left side is at the bolster, or move the bolster to the left side. Maybe the strap on this side, we'll see. All right, bring that left knee in towards your chest. Using that slightly smaller strap or holding the toe, straighten the leg up for Supta Padangusthasana 1. Nice deep breaths. And then bend the knee. Take the leg out to the side, resting on the bolster. And then straighten the leg. Let the toes point down towards the floor. Let the thigh be on the bolster. And then you can kind of pull down with the hand on the foot or the strap. Turning the pelvis to the right, belly to the right. Ribs, chest, head. Extend that right arm out. Nice soft breath. Right, and then you're going to bend that leg, bring it across, lifting up or holding with the hand, lift up, hold with the elbow. Take that left arm behind the head, contract the abdominal muscles. Try to move that knee away from you as you pull the ankle toward you. Extend through that right leg. If it pops up, find it. But extend. Breathe. Right, and then as you lower down, you're going to take that leg back out to the side. Your rest is going to come in Supta Padangusthasana 2. And then bend that knee. You can then release the foot or the strap. Straighten the leg. Take a couple of breaths here in Shavasana. Right, now you're going to need a chair, and you're going to have your bolster or your stack of blankets, whatever you used. Right, so roll to your side and sit up. And then get yourself, any chair will do. It doesn't have to be a backless chair today, so grab what's closest. And you're going to start by placing those blankets or bolster on the chair. You can have the chair back a little bit so you have room for your feet in front. The blankets will go, so the length of the blankets goes across the seat. Same thing with your bolster. If you're using a bolster, the length is going to go across the seat. This is just to bump us up a little bit higher so we can get the movements that we're going for here. And then it'll be up to you if you want to get rid of the height when we do the second round or not. All right, so we're just sitting up on a little bit of height. You want your hips slightly higher than your knees. That's all, just slightly higher than your knees. It's like sitting on a blanket on the floor. All right, and then you're going to take your right ankle onto your right knee. All right, and you're just going to pulse that knee down. Right, now, all of this is external rotation of the legs. All right, so we're in external rotation of the upper leg here. You can get a little bit more by grabbing, pulling your buttocks flesh. You don't want to just move the flesh. You want to feel as if you're turning that thigh bone a bit. But we also need that external rotation in the lower leg, right? So it's those toes going down towards the floor again. So with your hands, turn that calf out. You can come this way and kind of turn the calf. You'll feel it in your knee, all right? You don't feel good in your knee because now the shin bone is turning as much as the thigh bone is turning. All right, and you can just hold that foot down. All right, so grab underneath so you're pulling the shin bone. You see how my shin bone can turn down towards the floor, and then sit up tall and just hold that there. Hold that. You can kind of pull up on the heel, push down on the foot, whatever works for you. So you're feeling that external rotation. release that leg. Interlace your fingers, take your arms up. Bring the arms back down. Do the opposite interlace of the fingers. Feels like you're holding someone else's hand. Take the arms up and release. Left ankle, right knee. Pulse a few times. So this is the same thing we did when we're pulling the leg towards us. All right, and then you're going to turn that thigh bone a bit more. Not much that can turn because it's already turned out, but you can really feel a shift in the shin bone. Turn the shin bone out. Try to point the toes down towards the floor. Don't overdo, but make that shin bone turn out as much as the thigh bone. Sit up as tall as you can. Try to press that knee down with your effort. All right, and then release. Interlace the fingers, take the arms up. Exhale down, do the opposite cross of the fingers. Arms up. And release. All right, now, if you're struggling to get the knee, your shin bone parallel to the floor here, if the hips are kind of tight for you, stay up on your height. All right, you just stay on your height. We're just repeating. All right, those of you that are shin bone parallel to the floor, you can get rid of your bolsters or your blankets, whatever you're using. Come back to your chair. All right, and you'll find what's the right distance forward and backwards on the chair. You don't want to be leaning back, obviously, but you want to be steady on the chair. All right, let's take that right ankle onto the left knee. A little more effort here to get that shin bone parallel to the floor. Turn the thigh, turn the shin, and turn those toes down towards the floor. Really dorsiflex the foot, all right? So you're not trying to point, but pull the toes back towards the shin and turn that shin down towards the floor. Press down through that knee, down towards the floor. All right, release. Interlace the fingers, take the arms up. Bring the arms down, do that opposite interlace of the fingers. Arms up. Release. All right, left ankle, right knee. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Dorsiflexing those toes. All right, turning that thigh out as much as you can, and then the shin bone. Turn the shin bone, turn the toes down towards the floor. Shin bone turns out, toes turn down. Keep the foot strongly dorsiflexed. Don't point the toes, flex. Almost like you're trying to do a Garudasana. You're trying to wrap the foot around the shin. Sit up tall and turn that down and press that knee down. Don't let it be resting up. I want you to feel something in that hip. All right, and then release. Okay, so now we're just going to sit. Those of you who are on height can probably get rid of your height now. You don't need your height. And we're going to take the right leg. We're just going to do a little bit of movement here. All right, we're just going to take that right leg out to the right and then back. You can use your hands on the chair for support. I don't want you slumping. So unattractive. Lift up, and you're just moving that leg forward and backwards. Tap, tap, other side. All right, left side, tap, tap, tap. Couple more. All right, take the right leg now where you had it out to the side. All right, and I want you to think now of the Ardha Chandrasana that we did. Here, the inner edge of my foot is parallel to the mat. I'm going to turn those toes back and start to feel that inner stretch there. All right, so we're just going to tap, turn, tap, turn. Now, as you're doing this, as you're taking that foot back, I want you to think of lengthening this muscle. That's what's happening when you turn the foot back. But rather than just letting that happen, I want you to make it happen. If you think inner groin to inner knee, can you get a little more rotation in that lower leg? All right, and then let's go to the left side. All right, so the toe turns back. You start to feel that stretch. Right, make that be the action. Inner groin to inner knee. Inner groin to inner knee. Inner groin to inner knee. Okay, back to center. We're going to do it with both legs now. All right, so you're going to take those legs as wide as comfortable. They're in front. My legs are in front of me. All right, and then we're going to turn those toes back and press into the outer edges of the feet. All right, and as you move the knees back to the wall behind you, lengthen inner groin to inner knee. Sit up nice and tall. Inner groin to inner knee. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Let these inner thighs right in here open up. Press into your outer feet. You see, if you press to the inner, the knees want to go forward, right? That's what we do in back bends to keep the knees from going wide. Now we need to press into the outer feet and reach from those inner groins to the inner knees. All right, feet forward. Bring the feet in. We're going to do just one leg again, and we're going to move it to the midline. All right, so we're going to take the right leg out. Inner edge of the foot is parallel. All right, and then you can use your hands if you need to. All right, you're going to slide that foot. Keep the toes pointing parallel. See here, the inner edge of the foot is parallel to the mat. You want to try to keep that inner edge of the foot parallel to the mat, but you're not going to be able to keep your heel down. You're going to come up onto your toe. All right, so you're bringing that towards the midline of your body. Now, for most of us, the heel wants to drop back, right? That's a Padangusthasana. Put your heel back like a Padangusthasana. All right, roll up onto the ball of your foot. Reach down with your hand and push your heel forward. Feel that there's a lot of weight in that big toe knuckle now. We were outer edge of the foot, now we're inner edge of the foot. All right, lengthen from that inner groin to that inner knee. Try to move the knee back. Inner groin to inner knee, heel forward. Take the leg out, switch sides. All right, so you're getting that inner foot parallel to the mat. It's in front of you. All right, and then you're going to slide it. Now when you do that, there's that tendency for the heel to come back toward you. All right, so try to slide that heel, keep that heel moving forward. You may get a little pinch in the outer hip. All right, now heel forward, weight into the ball of the foot, right in the big toe knuckle. Inner groin to inner knee. Try to move your knee back. Heel forward, knee back. Inner groin to inner knee. Heel forward, knee back. All right. Let's repeat that. All right, so we'll move it a couple of times this time. All right, so you're going to bring the foot in, heel forward, knee back, and then go back. All right, so so in, heel forward, knee back. Just a quick little heel forward, knee back. Heel forward, knee back. All right, switch the sides. Okay, one side is going to come easier than the other. Heel forward, knee back. Heel forward, knee back. Heel forward, knee back. Heel forward, knee back. Put the other foot next to it. Okay, now see how close you can bring those balls of the feet. We didn't warm up the toes. We didn't put a lot of weight onto them. We warmed them up a bit. All right, so now you're getting the idea of where we're headed here. All right, heels forward. Don't let them drop back. Go heels forward. Inner groin to inner knee. Take the knees back. Press with your hands on the chair to lift your chest. All right, and then bring the legs together, straighten up the legs. Now, you're going to need some height down here. For some of you, a bolster will be the right amount of height. Maybe a stack of blankets. If you do a stack of blankets, it might be best to either put them under the chair, so there's just a little bit sticking out, or even fold them lengthwise and put them in front of the chair. All right, so they might look like this. All right, the other thing that you could use is a couple of blocks and some blankets on top of the blocks if you need more height. All right, if you've got a bolster, you can do a bolster. You've got kind of a thin bolster, you can add some blankets to that or put a couple of blocks underneath it. But have some height in front. Okay, and we're going to repeat what we just did. All right, so we're going to bring the balls of the feet towards each other, the heels towards each other. They can be right up against that bolster. They can be a little bit in front of it. Heels are forward now. Knees are back, inner groin to inner knee. And then you're just going to slide off that chair and touch and come back up. Touch, come back up. All right, once more. Slide all the way down and see, can you stay? All right, maybe you need more height. If you can't stay, you can take more height. All right, so heels forward. Inner groin to inner knee. Make those knees try to reach towards the side walls and back. Sit up nice and tall. Now, ultimately, you're on the floor behind the heels. That's why the heels have to be forward. Ultimately, the knees are touching the floor. That's why they have to reach out to the side. If you want, you can kind of rock side to side a little bit. Inner groins to inner knees, all right? And then sit up, straighten out your legs. All right, now you decide. Can you go any lower, right? Can you take out a blanket? All right, maybe you're already at only one prop underneath you. That's fine. You have different heights of blocks, right? You can stack 2 blocks on top of each other. You can turn 1 block tall. You could do 2 blocks this tall next to each other. I wouldn't do 1 block this tall. It's a little unsteady. All right? You could do 2 blocks stacked with a blanket on top, 1 block with a blanket, right? Lots of height. All right? Let's try once more. Turn those legs out. Bring the balls of the feet towards each other, heels towards each other. All right, now the heels have to go forward because you have to slide in behind them. It's not Padangusthasana where you sit on the heels. All right, so inch yourself forward. Take the knees out, knees wide, have a seat. Heels forward and reach from the inner groins to the inner knees. Sit up nice and tall. You can do it. All right, and then come out. All right, so that is the lowering method from height. You're welcome to repeat that lowering method from height, or you can start on the height tight already. Personally, I find this easier because it's the action of bending the knees that's hardest for me. Once my knees are bent, they're fine. All right, so the lowering is a little hard. All right, so let's try this. We're going to pull the feet together into Padangusthasana. All right, and then we're going to roll those shin bones down and come onto the tops of the feet, or the balls of the feet, sorry. All right, and then you have to roll those heels forward as you reach from the inner groins to the inner knees. Try to take the knees back, knees back. If this is too intense, try lowering from the chair one more time. All right, you can rock side to side, see how it might feel to get the knees all the way down. They're not going to go down if you're up on height, most likely. Some people, they will go down. All right, some of it also depends on where your support is. If you've got the wide bolster like I do, then the thighs are supported, so they're not going down. All right, so press those heels together and forward and reach from the inner groins to the inner knee. Try to move your knees to the back wall and down to the floor. All right, and then release. Release the legs. Straighten out the feet. That pose is Mulabandhasana. I've never achieved the final pose myself. I've never successfully sat down on the floor. I don't know that I want to. But it's good work for the toes, the ankles, the knees, getting that external rotation, inner thighs open. Okay, let's keep some support. Keep blankets or bolster, whatever you have. We're done with the chairs. Have a strap. We're just going to put the bolster at the foot edge of the mat. You can even have a couple of blocks or some rolled up blankets if you'd like. We're going to go with these wide legs once more, but we'll give them some support. All right, so a big loop in the strap this time. All right, now the strap, you're going to sit down with your legs over the bolster, right? And the strap, it's just going to go over the knees, right? So here it is at my hip crease, and then it's at my ankles, and then I can pull it tight and let the legs rest on the bolster. You decide how tight this is. Then you can take these blocks and you can position them in such a manner that they actually are supporting the legs. Even if you're very comfortable in Padangusthasana, put some support. It can be under the legs, under the thighs, it can be under the knees. You find a comfortable place, all right, so that they're supporting you. You can really let these inner groins relax. The strap can be as loose or as tight as you would like. Then grab the sides of your sticky mat and you're going to just tuck those shoulder blades towards each other just a little bit. All right? So you see I'm just taking these arms, I'm turning the arms out. And when I do that, I have to kind of lift up and I feel the shoulder blades move in. Right? And then you can just rest with the palms facing the ceiling. Letting those inner groins release, abdomen soften. Eyes and face soft. Nice, smooth breath. attention toward your breath. Feel it's wandering, just take a deep breath, bring it back. And then release your strap. Bring your knees together and release your strap. You can pull your knees in toward your chest for a moment. And move any blocks that you have in your way there. Roll to your side and sit up. Alright, and then we'll take the Viparita Karani. We're going to use the strap, so you'll need your strap. You can take your mat, take a quarter folded mat to the wall. Alright, so take your mat, fold it in half again, and we're going to put that at the wall. Let's see, I'll move the camera. So the mat is at the wall. And then you'll take a block and you're going to place it on its side up against the wall. Right? And then you're going to use a stack of 2 or 3 blankets folded lengthwise like this. You can use 2 or 3 blankets. Alright? Or you could use a bolster. If you have a really thin bolster and you want a little more height, you could put a blanket on top of it. Alright? Now, I like a blanket underneath me. This floor is hard and cold, so I'm just going to open up a blanket and put that in front of my support. Alright? Have your strap. You want to have that in your hands. And we're going to take Viparita Karani. So I'm going to sit so that my buttocks, I can kind of lean onto, this is my right hip, I can lean onto this right hip with my buttocks up against the wall. I'm right at the edge of my bolster, all right? And then I can lean down, keeping those buttocks against the wall, and I can roll into Viparita Karani, right? The closer your buttocks are to the wall, the better. If they can't be against the wall, you might try going in again and see if you can just do better. It's a tough entrance. Or maybe you lower your height a little bit. And that block is there because you do want to feel as if the sacrum is starting to go down the back edge of the bolster. Right? So if you're away from the wall a little bit, You can maybe bend your knees, lift your hips, and just pull that bolster in towards you a little bit, and then bring the buttocks back down. We're going to use the strap. You're just going to take that strap around your shin bones, all right, and give it a tight. Doesn't have to be super duper tight, but I just want you to be able to have your legs up and really relax the legs. Not feel as if you have to be holding them together, turning them in or anything. They can just relax. If getting the strap on is really disturbing your pose, don't worry about the strap. Leave it off. Arms can do what feels most comfortable to you. They can be like a cactus, down by your sides, out to the side. If you'd like, you can take a blanket, fold the blanket over your forehead, and then rest your arms out. Put a little weight on the forehead. That's nice and quieting for the eyes, the brain. Nice, smooth breath. Takes a little bit of effort to get here, so see if you can gradually slow that breath down a little bit. Focus on slowing the exhalations. Again, let your attention be drawn towards your breath. You notice the attention is wandering away. Take a nice deep inhalation and bring it back. Now you're welcome to stay in Viparita Karani for longer if you would like. You do ultimately need to come out and have your hips on the ground for about a minute. All right, so we're just going to, you can stay, you can just let the video play out, or you can bend the knees and remove the strap. And you have two options, all right? You can push into the wall until the hips are off of the bolster. And then you decide how you want to rest the legs. Maybe Padangusthasana, but we've been doing that a lot today. So you could maybe do cross legs. That brings the knees a little closer. It's different in the hips. All right. Your other option is to just keep pushing. You can take the legs into the bolster, the feet into the bolster, heels on the floor, and then just push all the way out until you're in a Shavasana. All right. Bring your heels down to the floor. Okay. That holds your legs in a little bit neutral position. You do now want your arms to be down by your sides or resting on your torso, not over the head. We want the heart rate to calm down and quiet. Okay, and you'll take a few nice deep breaths and settle into Shavasana. Take a moment to thank yourself for coming to class and continuing your practice. And whenever you're ready, take all the time that you need. The video is coming to an end. You'll slowly roll to your side. You'll slowly sit up. Have a lovely day.